Hey, I'm live here. Let a couple people get in. Talk about the new setup. Still nobody in here. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give a little talk here. There's somebody coming in. Got a new setup on the boat. No more Minn Kota. I got a Garmin Force trolling motor on here now, and I went ahead and splurged and bought the All Aboard Marine scoping stick. I did not get it with the all sync. With the little motor that turns it. All I got is the one with the handle. But it turns, you twist the handle, and that's what turns it. You can twist it. That turns your transducer. It doesn't matter where this handle goes. As far as that goes, it doesn't matter. My first impressions on it, when I unboxed it, packaged very well. Shipping was fairly quick. I ordered it on Wednesday and I got it on Wednesday the following week. So shipping and everything, I got it fairly quick. Now it's only 3 hours from where I live, so it ain't like it came real far. As far as the installation, I can look at pictures and put stuff together. My wife is one of them people that has to have step-by-step directions in her brain. She thinks more like I would say like an engineer. She's real analytical to where I can look at something, see it, and go, oh, okay, that's how it goes together. There is no pictures on the instructions on installation. It comes fairly well put together, but you do have to figure out how to put it on the base of your trolling motor, whichever one you have. With Garmin, your support for when it folds goes on the top of it. I ordered mine for port side. You could put it on either side. You just flip the bracket over and it would work on either side. So as far as that goes, it'll work either way. As far as the machining process for the live that holds the live scope transducer, that the aluminum down there, the machining process, everything is dead on spec wise. Everything goes together beautifully. Your little handle here has a machine part here, and it's the mechanism. These two pieces work together. That way when it's in the pole and you twist the handle, it turns. I don't know if you can see that spinning or not. It's pretty slick how that works. Now, and how it goes in is it's got a set screw up here on this little arrow. It's got a little arrow up here at the top. And then this is my arrow I made and put on there so I can actually see it. The little arrow to me is, well, that's one of the things I think needs, I know why it's like that, but on the actual steering sticks like this, not with the all sync, I think they need to offer a little longer arrow. Also, one of the faults I had with it, which was nothing to do with All Aboard Marine. Okay, I got the trolling motor on a deal. It was on sale because but it's too long for my boat really. So I've got quite a bit sticking up here. So when I ordered the size for my trolling motor length, and if I would have got the all sync, it'd have been fine. But because it's too long, really this head should be down here. I need a 50-inch and it's a 57. When I ordered for that size, I didn't know, but your prop on a Garmin Force will hit that transducer if you have it too low on the steering collar. And then with the handle I ordered, it sticks way up in the air, and I got both handles. I paid extra $150 for this flex handle. Now you see how long that handle is. For me to comfortably use it, I cut this much of it off. Now he may have designed that so you could do that for different front end types on their boats. I've stayed fairly close to the nose of my boat to where somebody with like a tracker, target tracker, or even a bass boat that has a lot of stuff up front, you're standing several feet back to where I'm literally standing 2 foot from the front of my boat where I'm comfortable. But even sitting up there in my butt seat, the handle was all the way back here. So I had to cut it. And now it's about right here on me. And that's standing up leaning against my butt seat, my lean seat. When I sit down, it's long enough, but it's about this high. Because it is the flex handle, but when I cut this off, it took away all the weight that made it do this. Because it's a spring-loaded deal. And so I took away that back end weight to make it do that, to be comfortable like this. But when I sat down, it was all the way like this too. And it was, I just didn't like it. So luckily, I mean, that's, and that, like I said, he may have made them that long, if it's long enough. And if you don't need that long, you cut it off. But yeah, I ended up cutting off about that much off of this, because that's how high it would have been. The other handle is a fixed handle, and even now, with cutting off this much, it's about right here when I'm standing up in the boat. But that's no fault of theirs. It's sort of clear my graph is what it is. If my graph was lower, I could take this down even more. I just can't go any lower down here, because when the Garmin turns with the motor on and the blade's turning, it perfectly lines up that blade with the bottom of this transducer. And so this needs to be a little longer, or they could even do away with about a good 1.5 inches on this bracket. What I may end up doing is, I have plate aluminum here. I may end up making my own plate that bolts on here. That way that pipe sets right here, and I'll still be able to use my steering stick, but it'll be down here, you know, or like this over the top of the head. But and that'll eliminate that being able to hit, because that transducer will be closer to here. Also, I don't know yet, because I have not been on the water with it yet. I'll post a video after I do that. But where it's at on the port side, I would think when you're looking off to that side of the starboard side of the boat, and it gets to this shaft, pointing through that shaft, you're gonna have a blind spot. And it's fairly close to the transducer, so I think it's going to be a fairly good sized blind spot. So in that aspect, that's why I may move it to the front. Just in case I left my old scope pole on here. But and you could always take and mount this straight to your boat and still have that ability to do that twist and turn. It just would, I wanted to be able to lift it all at once. That's what I had on my Trinova. So that's what I wanted on this. And rather than make it myself, I thought, you know what, I got a little extra money. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to buy one. I'm not going to have to worry about making something and figuring it out, because they've already done it. Well, I bought something and modified it. Sorry, all aboard, if you're on here, it wasn't necessarily your fault. Price on this, Scott, for the all aboard with the standard handle, which is here's the standard handle right here. It does not flex, so when you put it in, it sticks way up there in the air. That right there hits me about right here. It's that high. And the end of it, this pole, I think these poles are 45 inches long, is how long this is. One thing, too, when you get them, the end, this is the end, that's where I cut that one that flex. You can see that's what it looks like. I don't know why, all aboard. This, like I said, as far as craftsmanship, it's great. Fit and finish, I'd give it a B minus. Just because them little things that could make it really nice, they aren't there. A simple 39-cent plastic cap. So when you're taking fish off or something, if you bump against it, it's not going to rip your shirt or scratch your arm or whatever like that will. That sharp aluminum pipe. Now you may have done that because people cut them. That's fine. Just don't put it on there. Just include it in the package. Won't cost you but 60 cents. Also, if you get one, put a pool noodle on there because these don't float. And you want to buy one, you lose it, it's 150 bucks. So I did buy the optional flex hose. If you just get the flex hose, it's only $50 more, and that puts it, this scope stick with the flex hose. When I put it in the cart, it was $659, I think. Now I bought both handles. I bought this, and then I also bought an extra flex hose. Is the extra one I bought, and I paid roughly $800 for it. And that's with shipping, so it's not cheap. You know, you're paying. The downside to what I've seen just since I put it on, playing with it here, just adjusting stuff. I had it on, and I was playing around with it, making sure I had it all right. And I was in the boat, turning it back and forth. I was in the boat, and I had it, and I was turning my transducer back and forth like this. And my wife said, whoa, 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 stop. This collar up here, this lock collar, it's got one at the top, one at the bottom. They work by a little pressure knob. I had it what I thought was tight, and it slid down, and my transducer was sitting on the prop. Luckily, I wasn't running the motor or anything. I was just playing with it. How I remedied that is I put it where it needed to be. I put the collar on, tightened it up, and then I wrapped electrical tape on top of it. That way it can't slide up. That way that does not happen to me. If that would have happened on the water, that didn't happen here, and it happened to me out fishing, and my $1,200 live scope transducer got chopped up by the prop, and not only ruined the transducer, more than likely that carbon fiber prop. I've already replaced one. I've had this motor out 3 times, and I already replaced one. I got into something hard, they shattered. So more than likely I'd have been replacing a prop and a transducer. You know, that would have done it. Boom, done. So you definitely want to make sure you tape above that with some kind of electrical tape or even a hose clamp, something, that way it does not move down unless you want it to. The other thing, like I said, is this indicator knob that indicates where it points. It had no adjustment, and it was not centered. It was off just by a couple degrees, which is fine. Straight, you know, even 5 foot out would have been fine. You were going to be in your transducer, no problem. But at 20 feet out, when I lasered them, they didn't match. It was about 4 feet off at 20 foot. So, which I cut it, and when I drilled it, I made it to where I can actually adjust it. And then also I use this bigger one anyway. So, but yeah, I mean, would I buy it again? Right now, yeah, I'd buy it again. As far as this handle, if I'm sitting down, this flex handle, what I did on that, it's a simple solution. If you've ever had one of them, like a kid's toy, or not really a kid's toy, but something that extends, like a dip net handle or a gigging handle, has a little button you push in, you can pull it out and make it longer or shorter. I was going to put one of them in there. I got them coming. I ordered some. And then all this is a piece of 3/4 inch electrical conduit, PVC electric conduit, and it fits right over the end like that. And then as you can see, it goes down quite a bit more. That's with it on there. It's right there. See, it pops way up. Standing, this is perfect right now. And when I'm sitting down in my chairs, I got the sidekicks or my single. I put this, it's enough weight that it puts it perfect right here for me when I'm sitting down. So I'm just going to put one of them in there. When I use it, I can just push down on it, you know, and take it off. It's little, small. It's got a cap on the end. I got caps to insert in here to push in. Ordered. I'm gonna put one of them in there. It just keeps the water from getting in it. There again, piece of pool noodle, so I know if I drop it or knock it out of there, or whatever, I don't lose my handle. But yeah, now as far as the trolling motor, I've had it out quite a bit. Like I said, I've been out. I guess I've been out 4 times with the Force. What I think of that, it's an absolute monster. I'm running it on the 24 volts. It can be 24, 36. It's an absolute beast. It's heavy. Even no matter what shaft length you get, the bracket that raises and lowers it on, it's gonna be the same. It's heavy. I'd say it's 90 pounds, every bit. And I already had my live well on this side of the boat. And when I sat down, live well's full of water with this. The boat was riding like this. I had to put 130 pounds in the ammo can on the other side of the boat, so it rode level when I was by myself. That's the only downside so far I have seen with it. I've had. As far as how it works, spot lock is excellent. Minn Kota needs to steal their spot lock programming, because compared to a Minn Kota's got a long ways to go before you match the spot lock on this Force. Comes with a kickstand, which is nice. I think they all do. It's overbuilt. It's just overbuilt. As far as cable management, is perfect. You don't have a bunch of cables laying on your floor. The controller, you can steer several different ways with it. You can hold down on a button and you're sitting there and you're going straight ahead. You can turn the motor just by holding that button and turning the controller back and forth. And that is neater than you can never believe. I've never had it go past 3/4 of a turn before it straightens itself and kicks back and goes the other way. So that is huge. My Trinova would try to wrap itself up and bust the cables at least once or twice every time I went. And you'd look down because you'd hear something like something rubbing, getting tight, and it would be it trying to wrap these cables up to the point to where they wanted to break. Or this, it doesn't do that. It's got everything. It's got like a digital dash right here. I'll unhook this. It has like a digital dash right here. Whenever it's on and working, I'll plug it in here. I'll plug this. Show you what I'm talking about. It turns on. And it ain't gonna get a signal probably, but it's got a digital dash here. And this is your power levels, 1 through 20. Instead of having like 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, it's just got 1 through 20. But when your prop's on, that lights up there. Anchor lock, it lights up. Heading lock, lights up there. This is your signal, your battery strength. Your remote actually tells you how much battery you have, which is beautiful. I mean, on my Trinova, I had a deal I could push, and it would show little bars, you know, 1, 2, 3, or 4. On that one, the remote itself actually shows your voltage. What we got here? Let's go get some crappie and cats. Hey, Tyler, does it have a jog feature like Minn Kota? Yes, it does. And not only does it have a jog feature, this is what's wild about this over Minn Kota. You can set the spot lock and the jog to go from 1 to 5 foot. So what I mean by that is if you hit spot lock, I have mine set on 3 foot. That's what Minn Kota says theirs is. It's not. Minn Kota's is anywhere from 5 foot on a good day to 15 to 20 foot on a bad day before it'll correct you. And then it takes off like a bat out of hell to get you back, and then overruns it and then comes back and all back and forth, back and forth. It seems like it needs wind. Minn Kota does great if you got about a 5 mile an hour wind, to where it's got some resistance. When there's no wind, it's sitting there just absolutely spazzing out, trying to figure out what it's supposed to do. This one does that too, that spaz out thing when there's no wind. Not nowhere near as bad as that Minn Kota did. As far as the jog feature, I could set it when I hit it, beep it once, twice, or whatever. I can set it to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet. Not only that, I can hold the remote and point it where I want it to jog, and hit that button, and it will take me that way. So you don't have right, left, forward, backwards. You have wherever you're pointing that remote to. So if there's fish at 2 o'clock, 2:30, say from where you're looking, and your motor's locked in facing like this, and you hit that jog, you can hit the right or left or forward or back button, and it'll go right, left, forward, back, just like a Minn Kota does. Or you can use that remote, point that remote in the direction you want, hit it, and it goes in that direction. So if this is, dead center, and this is dead behind the boat, you're like this. And you have a target that's right here. On Minn Kota, you'd have to like bump forward and bump this way. And it would do this and then do this. Or it would do this, what mine normally did. Where this, I can point it where I want to go, and it just jogs straight at it. Another feature on this over the Minn Kota is just quiet. It's tons quieter. That steering motor on the Minn Kota, that Trinova I had, it just every time it would turn, it sounded like a chainsaw. And this one doesn't. It turns extremely fast. I was talking with Keith Williams. He's got the Minn Kota, the Ultrex Quest. He tried this. He said it turned too fast for him. I love how fast it turns. I mean, if you want to go one way or the other, when you're on spot lock, it gets it. There ain't no. Now I've ran the Ultrex Quest on a live scope training I did for some guys. They had it on their bass boat, and I ran it. I liked it. I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, I only used it for a couple hours, but I mean, it turned fast. It seemed quiet to me. But I just know the difference between the Trinova to this was night and day. Spot lock I did use on theirs, and this compared to the Ultrex spot lock on the Quest was night and day. This is so much better on spot lock. I just can't. Out in open water, like you're on a point or on a brush pile and it's open water around you, you don't notice just how bad the spot lock is on the Minn Kotas. Motor Guide's even worse. But I had an XI5 Motor Guide. It was absolutely horrible, and it would just get in a wild hair and turn completely 90 degrees on high and take off and about throw you out of the boat. That's why I switched to Minn Kota. I bought the Trinova new. I've had it 3 years. It's been a good motor. The problem I have with it is I break steering collars every couple months. It seems like a steering collar breaks. And I broke them and not hit nothing, just from turning and engaging it at a higher speed, 7, 8, and just the torque it put on that little plastic collar broke it. Now, my understanding, I was looking at a new Quest. They kind of eliminated some of that problems on the Trinova Quest, the new one, because they put a square shaft in it instead of a round shaft like the one that I had. I think that'll help with breaking them collars. But I've got mine sitting right over there. Mine's sitting right over on top of that toolbox with the remote. Foot pedal, it's never been used. I got 2 spare collars and a rebuild kit for all the new bushings, O-rings, all that. If somebody wants to do good motor, I'll sell it to them. I'll make them a deal on it, but I'm not really in a hurry to sell it because I'm going to keep it for a backup. If this goes down, I'm waiting for some part or something. I can just throw that on and go, So, yeah, I mean, was it worth? I got it new. This one was $3,600. I think $3,600. I got it for $26 on sale at Bass Pro. It was worth the money. Definitely. Even though it's a little long, the shaft's a little long, it definitely, hands down, I haven't regretted buying that at all. But yeah, that's my take on this scope stick so far. I think I'm going to like it. I bought it specifically for being able, I don't have to do this to turn my pole. I wanted this turn mechanism where I can turn that transducer by twisting that handle. Now on Dad's Pro Cat, we put a beat down breakaway transducer on that one, on this Pro Cat. If anybody's had beat down, they'll tell you ain't nobody builds something like Beatdown does. I'm telling you now, all their stuff is overbuilt. If this would have been made by Beatdown, it would have weighed 20 pounds. I mean, it would have been overkill dramatically. But it's solid. It doesn't move. You know, it's all aluminum. Pole's all aluminum. Yeah, it's. I think I like it. I don't think I have any problems with it. As far as once I got it to fit my application, it isn't a design failure by them on anything. It's just simply, I had to be. I'm a metal guy. I mean, I'm a journeyman knife maker. I can do welding, weld aluminum, steel. Make knives. I can do castings. I've got a forge and everything. I can, do all that stuff. Kind of have a little more than your basic knowledge of metallurgy. So I see something and I need to change it. I can change it. So it ain't like your average guy who doesn't own a welder or doesn't know how to weld or doesn't have a metal saw, or doesn't have a way to cut and tap and die. He don't know how to do that. In that instance, it would have worked fine because they wouldn't have made this graph mount. They would have bought one that either folded down or they'd just put it on the floor of the boat. I don't like that because I don't want to fish like this all day long. I want to be able to just reach down and do this to change my settings and whatnot. And I didn't like how the beat down mount held on my floor. And I didn't want to pay $350 and then cut something and weld it so it would mount the way I wanted it. I like to buy components off companies, honestly, and just build the rest of it myself. Because I could have made this. I could have made all this. I know exactly how he makes this. You can buy these collars on Amazon. What you're really paying for is this mechanism, his idea there, and the machine work that he's done and for his labor to put this together. But there's a couple $100 there in aluminum. And he's probably got a couple hours in assembly and welding on that. So, you're going to pay for quality work. It's not cheap. I wouldn't build one for somebody, I can tell you, for cheaper than what he has and what he's doing it for. Could I make it? Yeah, I don't have the machine. I don't have a lathe or a CNC to make, this. I don't even know the first way to make that. So I would have bought one of the gearboxes off Amazon, and tried to figure out how to make that work. But this is slick here. This, to me, that piece right there is worth every dollar. To have that to where you can just turn that and that handle stays right there, but it turns your live scope transducer. That's slick. Football Edit King. Hello. But yeah, that's the thought on that. I wasn't planning on talking that long, but I'm getting up in the morning and I'm going to go try it out. I set it the same depth as my one I made, my cheapo, my $30 one that I've made for probably 30 people. And I'm going to leave it on there until I know this is the way I want it and it's going to work. Because I know this works and I got all the pieces for it still. And then if I like the way this turned out, I'll cut this off. I may leave it on there because I use a piece of 15 foot conduit that I jab in. I tie a rope to it and put it on the front of the boat at times. But I could just put it down in here. I have in the past. Just stick it down through there, stick it in the ground when I'm catfishing in shallower water, and then drop my talon in the back, and then I don't have to throw no anchors. I'll probably just leave it on there for that. It's out of the way, whatnot. And I use that to get in and out of the boat. That's my graph mount. And it's rock solid. It's made out of 2-inch pipe, steel pipe. It's been Linex, so it don't rust. But that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. People still in here, unless you got something you want to ask me. But how much was it? I answered that. Well, everything I bought, the 2 handles and the stick, was right at 800, touch over, like 809, I think. And I answered the question about that for you, Scott. Yeah, the Ternova, I'm not impressed after having this Garmin. Ternova's better than, I had an X3, I've had an X5, I've had two motor guide cable steers, and then I had the XI5, which had spot lock, heading lock, all that. Another thing about this Garmin, it links to my graphs super easy. It's just push button and they're linked. And you can start a track. It's got a real easy interface. You can use your big motor like if you're going to drag for cats or even crappie, I guess. Dragging cranks for crappie. I can start my big motor, start the track, drive where I want, and it makes the track. And then when I get to the end, I can say end it and then tell the motor to follow that track and even put the speed, and it will follow that track with the speed you tell it, and all you gotta do is fish. So it's super easy interface. They literally, you push a button 3 times, it flashes, you go to your graph, you go into the systems and the Wi-Fi and find Bluetooth, and boom, it picks it up and it's there. How'd I make the indicator? Talk about this. Talking about this one, Scott. This one right here. I wanted it up here, but I think it'll hit these cables. I'm gonna get one smaller. If that's what you're talking about, it is actually Precision Designs sells these. They 3D print them. And it actually is meant to go on the shaft. I can put it up here, but it won't do any good. It's actually designed to go on these, like this. Mainly for the Lowrance Ghost, it doesn't have an indicator. And you can't tell which direction it is. It goes on, they put them right here. But what I did is I took, and this has got a 1-inch pipe on it. I just took a 1-inch Forstner bit and drilled through it, and then it just pinches on. And then I can adjust it to get it square with the world. And I got tape up here so I can put it up here. Oh, till you break it like that. And now I have to tape it on. But I can epoxy that back on. That's the nice thing about plastic. It's easy to fix. But yeah, it's going to go on. I can put it up here too. Like that. Or I can have it down here. And I got a couple, 3 of them. I bought them. They sold them for like $20. But there's several different ones. One thing you can do is you can buy these collars like this too, and just use a long bolt and screw it in. I could even do it with this one. Just loosen it, line it up. This little bolt right here, and we use a bolt about this long and paint it green or red. But you can buy these 1-inch, you can get them different sizes, and they're threaded, and you put the bolt in and it pinches down on them. I could get another one of these, put it up here with a colored bolt on it or something, you know, a little longer, tighten it in, it's a little Loctite on there, just so it holds it in place. Probably what I'll end up doing anyway. But yeah, well, I'm gonna end it. I got a video where I went fishing after I put this on. I have not got it edited yet, crappie video. And got into some striped bass too. So I got to get that edited. Hopefully I get that up for you in the next couple days. And I'm shooting to do it. I wanted to do it tomorrow morning until I got this came in, and now I want to just go play with this tomorrow morning while it's cool, and then I'll come back home during the heat of the day. I'll probably edit it sometime tomorrow and maybe post it tomorrow night or Saturday. So, but thanks for watching, everybody, and if you haven't yet, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down there at the bottom, and thumbs up if you like this content. And if you want, hit the bell next to it. It'll notify you when I post my videos. As always, thanks for watching, everybody.